Oh, heart rate, pace. Hasn't been a lot of running footage lately, guys, because let's be honest, running in places which are pretty boring. So just while I rehab this knee, been doing a lot of just grassy loops. I'm sure you don't want to watch me just do endless laps running around a grassy oval, but with this new project, MAF or 80-20 starting, should be able to get out and about a little bit more, and hopefully as I progress back to the roads, I'll be able to get a lot more footage. Stick around until the end of the video, guys, and let you know who this week's Running Duck Effect Strava Club member of the week is. I got to be honest, had to do a double take when I saw what this runner did over the weekend. Oh guys, I wear this hat in every video. I think it's time I got a new hat. All right, hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks very much for stopping by. No park run footage this week. Had a really busy Saturday morning, so just did our local park run here at Wynnum, just down the road, and then I had to get my skates on and get cracking with the rest of the day. So it's now Monday when I'm filming this, and later today I'm going to kick off week 1 of that project, MAF or 80-20, which is the better running method. Now for newbies to the channel, for the next 22 weeks I'm going to pit the two running methods against each other, culminating in 5 and 10 kilometre races. Now the first 11 weeks is using the MAF method, and the second 11 weeks will be using the 80-20 formula. Now I'll put a link to the video where I set out how that will work. If you want to go and check that out, the link's there up in the right hand corner. Now what I want to talk about in this video is the frustration you have when running using the MAF method, especially in the early stages and when the weather does get a lot warmer. Now this really hit home with me on a couple of runs in the last week where, let's just say guys, there was lots of swearing, lots of swearing as the heart rate went up and the pace went in the opposite direction. I wasn't a happy camper, guys, but a little bit more on that later. It did get me thinking though about the tips I use when this happens, and that maybe these tips might help you out as well with your MAF running. So look, it's summer here in Australia and the heat affects your heart rate. And while we're getting towards the end of our summer, it won't be long, runners in the northern hemisphere are faced with the same issues that we're experiencing right now. So you've got to ask yourself, guys, why am I running to MAF heart rate and what do I want to get out of it? Now for me, this is the second time running to MAF, and both times I've used this method when returning from injury. The first time was because I needed to build mileage quickly to get ready for a 50 kilometre trail race in New Zealand early last year, and this time around it's to help me to keep running for as long as I can because of these dodgy knee issues which I've now developed. Now MAF worked an absolute treat for me the first time around. I built the mileage I needed to complete that 50 kilometre trail race in Tarawera in reasonable shape, and afterwards I kept on with the MAF for several months, and what that allowed me to do, guys, was build a strong aerobic base that I was able to run fairly quickly for my age. Yes, I'm 54, guys, over that 5 and 10 kilometre distance and the half marathon as well. So I know it works, at least for me. So that doesn't mean the frustration is any less this time around, coming back from this bruised patella. Last time when I was using the MAF, I ran high mileage, running 6 or 7 times a week, and the aerobic base built really quickly. But this time I'm doing much less mileage and running no more than 5 times a week. So rebuilding that aerobic base is not happening anywhere near as quickly. And the frustration just really hit boiling point last week. The heart rate spiked after about 30 minutes on those 2 runs, and I was forced to drop my pace up to about a minute a kilometre. So I was going from 5-minute kilometres to 6-minute kilometres. Now, I've said before that I use MAF only as a guide, and I'm not fanatical about it, but I do try to keep my heart rate as close as I can to the 130, 135 beats per minute zone that I'm working in. And when I go for a run, I'm going for a run, guys. I don't want to walk. So when the heart rate does spike, I drop the pace as much as I can without walking to stay close to that 130 and 135 zone. Now my maximum aerobic function heart rate using the MAF 180 formula is 131. So you can see I'm using the MAF really only as a guide. But when I see my pace dropping dramatically and the heart rate not coming down at the same rate, that just builds frustration. And that frustration, the more you sort of stress about it as well, guys, the more frustration it builds. And what that is actually doing as well is also elevating that heart rate. So as well as trying to keep the pace at a comfortable level so your heart rate stays the same, if you're getting frustrated and stressed, then that is only natural. That's going to increase the level of your heart rate beats per minute as well. So here's what I do to push that frustration aside. Now, these 3 points I'm about to give you, I'm thinking about these while I'm running. So here they are. All right, guys, my first tip is trust the process. For me, it worked before, so it's gonna work again. All right, guys, secondly, why am I doing this? Well, it's well documented here on the channel that I've got dodgy knees and I need to do as much as I can to support those knee problems or those knee issues that I'm having, and the MAF really comes into it here. I want to make sure that I keep enjoying my running for as long as possible, and right at the moment the MAF method is the best way to go about that. Oh, and thirdly, guys, what are you trying to achieve? Fairly similar to the last point I just made. For me, it's about longevity in running, but I also want to build a strong aerobic base or engine so I can comfortably run over the distances that I choose to do, whether it's races or whether it's events or whether it's just for the enjoyment of running. Now, I know your responses to tip 2 and 3 may be a little bit different, but there's no denying point number 1. If you've decided to do the MAF, trust the process. You've made the decision to try the MAF method, guys, or running to heart rate to improve your aerobic base, your fitness, your health, or whatever it may be. Now it's all about trusting the process. Give yourself time to see the results. And I'm talking about several months here, guys. Just don't do it as a flash in the pan for a couple of weeks. Try it for a few months. But be patient. Right, so let me turn this music off. Oh wow, that last K was woeful, guys. Oh, heart rate, pace, unbelievable, wow. I know I said earlier on about the frustration with the MAF and that, but I got to be honest with myself that realistically, that's where my aerobic fitness level is right at this point in time. I'm getting to about that 40-minute mark, and then I'm starting to blow out. A real noticeable slowing in distance or slowing in pace, and really struggling to keep that heart rate at that MAF 130 to 135 level. And you'll see in this run that I did today that the last few K just really struggled, and with keeping the heart rate down, and the pace just dropped right off. Now, another thing to take into account, and this is why my videos get so long, because I'm always thinking of new stuff to say. Last year I was just using my watch to measure my heart rate on my runs. This time around I've got the Garmin Run heart rate strap, and I guess, guys, you've really got to take that there is a bit of difference there. I haven't really gone back and had a look at last year's data because I was running a hell of a lot more weekly mileage than what I am at the moment, so I've got to take that into account as well. But it's just where I am at the moment with my aerobic fitness, so I just got to keep plugging away. Yes, it's hot, but when it gets cooler things will change again. So that run's done, brings me to 51k for the week, and that's the biggest week I've had since the Gold Coast 50 at the beginning of December. So pretty happy that the weekly mileage is just building slowly, but tomorrow it all starts with Project MAF or 80-20, and I've just got to nail that MAF heart rate level from tomorrow on. So keep me accountable, guys. Just a couple more tips which may also help. Those couple of runs of mine last week, it was particularly hot and humid. When it's hot, the heart will work harder to pump blood through the body to help keep it cool. So how do we get around that? Run when it's cooler, early morning, late afternoon, wear a hat, and don't forget the sunscreen if you're out in the sun, guys. Wear a buff around your neck or put it around your wrist. Wet it to help keep you cool. And if you're going to wear it on your wrist, you can use it to wipe your face or just wipe around your neck if you do find it uncomfortable to actually have it sitting there on your neck. Run in shady areas like trails, forests, close to water. How good is it, guys, running beside a lake or stream, an ocean? I find that really refreshing, even cooling. Try to stay off surfaces that reflect the heat, like roads and footpaths, and make regular stops to take on water or whatever hydration you prefer. Doing this will allow your heart rate to drop for a few minutes while you have a drink or even splash water over your head. Okay, I hope those tips help you with the frustration you may be feeling with MAF. They sure do help me. I encourage you to stick with the MAF method, guys. It does get easier, your aerobic base does get stronger, and I reckon you'll enjoy running a hell of a lot more at a gentler pace. Let me know in the comments below if you're running to MAF and how it's going for you. Okay, shout out to this week's Running Duck Effect Strava Club member of the week, and it is Mo Firdaus. I hope I'm saying that right, Mo. Mo's from Malaysia. Now, Mo really caught my attention over the weekend when he was running sort of 6 kilometres every hour, and I just couldn't work out what he was up to, but it was all revealed the next day when Mo put up the logo from the Malaysia Backyard Ultra, the virtual race. And what Mo had done was he'd used the same course and he'd go out on the hour every hour for 10 hours and run 6.7 kilometres and finished with 67 k's in that Backyard Ultra. So congratulations, Mo. Big effort, mate. Alright, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. Stay safe, happy running, and I'll catch you in the next one. Hooroo.